What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Last time, we covered the story of this alternate universe Jiren. While sharing some similarities to his original counterpart, some considerable differences existed as well. But now, with him involved in the story, that really changes up the Namek arc, which is where we left off last time. For this part, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes, and once we hit that, I'll continue with another part to this story. And with that out of the way, let's pick up from here. Detecting everything on his scouter, hearing the transmissions, and then eventually having his scouter explode makes Frieza wonder. What's going on where the Ginyu Force is? Something bad is definitely happening, and he may actually need to intervene, so he leaves his ship and goes to where that's happening. Of course, everyone can sense him coming closer. He's able to arrive relatively quickly, and he's greeted by an odd sight. A couple Galactic Patrol agents, some Earthlings, an odd Saiyan, some Namekians, and one person who he actually does recognize, Vegeta. He looks around. Captain Ginyu lies dead on the ground nearby, as the rest of the Ginyu Force is unconscious and detained, with the last of his soldiers being cleaned up taken off the planet. A Galactic Patrol ship full of prisoners leaves. Frieza prepares to shoot at it, but he's blocked by Jiren, who grabs his arm. The ship safely enters warp speed and flies away. Surprised, Frieza draws his hand back, and then he chuckles to himself. A lot of bravado in this one. Jiren then tells Frieza he's under arrest, and he warns Frieza to not resist. This makes Frieza laugh anymore, he can't really help it. They think they can arrest him? He erupts in laughter as Jiren confirms this. That, or they kill him. More jokes. He keeps laughing, but Jiren is still serious. He tells Frieza they can do this the easy way or the hard way. As a show of force, Jiren cracks his neck, standing closer to Frieza, looking directly down on him. Goku and the rest are ready to fight, ready to assist Jiren whenever he needs. And in order to summon Porunga and keep some people safe, Gohan, Krillin, and Kargo leave the area to get the Dragon Balls, hoping to possibly revive someone in the meantime. Well, if they want to fight, Frieza will appease them. He begins powering up. His aura grows intense as the area around them shakes. His armor shatters and splinters everywhere. Everyone flinches except for Jiren. The pieces merely bounce off him, and a barrier that he formed with Ki. Frieza can tell Jiren is the strongest, so he attacks with a punch to the gut. Jiren looks down, unimpressed and not even moving, even giving Frieza a disappointed glare. Is that really all he's got? Frieza's actually surprised. Maybe he pulled that punch unintentionally. He tries again, then a death beam. His first form is actually outmatched here? Jiren towers over Frieza and grabs him, comedically picking him up. It's done. He's prepared to detain Frieza, but he yells, transforming once more, escaping Jiren's grasp. He's now in his second form. Let's see how Jiren reacts to this. Oh wow, a transformation. Jiren doesn't care. Frieza is definitely stronger than he was before, and Jiren actually feels a bit of his attacks now, and he goes a bit on the defensive. But he's actually still holding back a bit. The rest of the group watches in awe. They can sense Frieza's power and they can tell it's pretty huge, and the fact that Jiren is able to fend off against it somehow, that's amazing. Jocko asks Jiren if he can help, and Jiren lets him. This will be a good time to test this out since he hasn't really had the opportunity for it yet. Jocko powers up, summoning his full power. Surprisingly, the small and skinny Galactic Patrolman starts to grow in size. As his aura changes and his muscles grow, Jocko is now around the size of Jiren. Using his brand new full power form, he lunges at Frieza. And Frieza actually is hurt by this punch. He begins fighting back. The two seem to be on par with each other. Jocko is able to hold him off, and prepares to finally detain him using Galactic Patrol technology. He pulls out his weapon, launching an energy-infused blast at Frieza's head, knocking him back and then disorienting him. As Jocko then pulls out a restraint device, he jumps towards Frieza ready to finish the job. But he's suddenly knocked back as Frieza transforms once more, going into his third form. Jocko goes back to fight him, but Frieza is more powerful now, and Jocko is seemingly having a tough time. Damn, he wasn't fast enough. He was close to detaining Frieza, but Jiren steps in. Jocko apologizes, but Jiren says it's okay. None of them knew that Frieza had another form, and Jocko did do a good job at disorienting Frieza. Jiren gets a bit more serious, and although he's not in his full power, he's still fighting Frieza evenly. But as the fight continues, he's clearly stressing himself more and more. Frieza doesn't want to play around anymore. He's angered and wants to end this. He recognizes Jiren and tells him he's from that one planet they slaughtered a long time ago. He remembers hearing something about a ship being stolen. Jiren must have been the guy to do it. Frieza sees right through him. He had a plan for revenge this whole time, but it's not going to be so easy. As Frieza goes into his final form, Frieza stares him down, with Jiren actually cracking a smile. This is his final form? It's so puny and underwhelming. He acknowledges Frieza is strong, but Jiren may still have a way of winning. Plus, he has backup. Frieza stares at him menacingly as Jiren looks down on him. They subtly power up as the ground rumbles. Side note, this art is made by my friend Radjama Art. I'll link his social media in the video and down below. I mean, it's too perfect to not include here. Definitely check him out and thanks for this. Jiren now tells everyone standing by he wants them to join. Now, the thing is they're not there because he needs power, but because with more fighters, it'll be easier for them to trip Frieza up. Plus, Goku is actually pretty strong with Kaioken times 20, so he will give a power advantage regardless. Jocko's also pretty strong here, so he's a huge help in this scenario. This obviously isn't your average Jocko. The group attacks Frieza, and in order to mess with him, Jiren is able to lend ki to some of them, supercharging their attacks whenever they hit Frieza. For example, as Vegeta goes in for an attack, just as his punch is about to connect, he feels Jiren lend him some energy, coating his fist in a bright aura as it lands on Frieza. Of course, Vegeta's very happy about this, and he laughs. He tells Frieza whether it's him or someone else on their team, he's about to be defeated by one of them. Many of the fighters joining Jiren are weak in comparison, such as people like Nail, but with this tactic that Jiren is using, it makes them seem like they're much stronger than they really are. It's basically as if Jiren is punching for them, not to mention they have their own power behind it. Jocko's well aware of this, as Jiren has used it with him before, and the group is quickly able to realize what's going on and they keep quiet. Frieza is stunned. They have this many strong fighters? Individually, Frieza's confident that he'd be able to take them out. But with so many of them here, is he really outmatched for once? No, he refuses to believe it. As much as Jiren would love to capture Frieza right now, it would be pretty hard, and much like many of the Frieza soldiers, he may have no option but to go in for the kill, which will be equally as tough. Jiren is okay with this. He normally doesn't want to go for killing, since he is a man of justice after all. Not only would this appease Jiren's desire for vengeance, but it would of course end Frieza's reign, and it seems like this may be the only option because he's definitely not going to go peacefully. Capturing him seems unlikely, even though it is preferable. The group continues helping Jiren as Frieza gets angrier and angrier. His rage blinds him. Not only does this cause him to make mistakes, but Jiren's tactics cause him to slip up more. Plus, he's outnumbered. And as for Jiren himself, he's actually able to contend with Frieza, stressing himself here. However, an issue arises. Frieza decides to finally go full power, pulling out 100% of his energy as he grows in size and bulks up. Jiren then decides he can't act overconfident anymore, and decides to do the same. Jocko and everyone are surprised, and Jocko tells everyone he knew Jiren's power was much higher than it really was here, but he never recalled seeing Jiren's full power on display. Jiren's armor shattered. Alongside his shirt, a fiery aura surrounds him, almost appearing like he's glowing red. He was worried about using this because he didn't really want to kill Frieza, as I mentioned before, but he has no choice now. This is the safest and smartest option. He tells Frieza he's not the only one with a form like this. Of course he saw Jocko's before, but Jiren's is much stronger. However, the group watches in anticipation. Will it actually be enough though? Besides Goku, everyone slightly backs up, with Goku deciding to stay by Jiren's side. Once again powering up into Kaioken, Goku tells everyone he'll be fine, as Nail then decides to bring the group to go find Gohan, Krillin, Cargo, and Bulma. Dende heals Goku and Jiren one last time before he leaves, and Frieza tries to shoot at him, but Jiren obviously blocks it once more, much to Frieza's surprise. The two of them thank Dende, with Jiren also thanking the rest of the group for their help. He didn't expect to have these strong allies besides him, but he's grateful for it. He'll make sure to properly thank them later, and tells them to go. He and Goku then rush Frieza, beginning the final battle. Meanwhile, on another end of Namek, Gohan and Krillin finally have the Dragon Balls, and they eventually meet the rest of the team that just departed Frieza's fight. And this is the first time in the scenario that Vegeta meets Bulma. Vegeta's actually acting surprisingly tame right now, despite how he was in the previous arc. So, the group summons Porunga. They end up reviving Piccolo first, but they don't bring him to the planet. It doesn't seem necessary to bring an extra warrior here, and they don't want to put him in danger, especially since that would put the Dragon Balls on Earth in danger. Their next wish is revive Tenshinhan and Chaozu. Yamcha decides to stay back since those two wanted to go back together. And you know, maybe he can get some extra training in, or at least he says. Hopefully Yamcha isn't lazy here. Porunga then disappears, as a beam narrowly avoids him. Far away, Frieza ended up flying closer once he saw the sky turn black. He tried to kill Porunga, but he was too late, and not far behind him, Jiren and Goku are following, slamming him into the ground as he's distracted. Frieza recollects himself, charging up some massive blasts, and directs them as they swirl around Jiren. With these guided ki blasts, Goku has trouble avoiding them. Jiren thankfully doesn't have as much trouble, and he's able to counter some of them with a similar attack of his own. But if Goku gets hit by one of these, it'll deal some serious damage. One of them whizzes past Jiren, and Frieza directs it back. Thinking Jiren doesn't know, Jiren focuses while fighting Frieza, charging a powerful attack in one hand and fighting with the other, as Goku helps too. Subtly, Frieza keeps controlling the blast, directing it towards Jiren's back. Amidst their fight, Frieza happily watches as the blast draws closer. But of course, Jiren knew all about this. He drops himself to the ground and grabs Goku too, leaving Frieza surprised. It's far too late, he can't divert the blast. As Goku and Jiren get on the ground, they watch Frieza floating midair as the blast hits him in the face, with Jiren launching his own heatwave magnetron at the same time. And this prompts Goku to launch a Kamehameha. A massive explosion takes place midair, as Frieza's attack not only hits him, but is combined with Goku's Kamehameha and Jiren's heatwave magnetron. A brilliant display of colors takes place. And even far away, the rest of the group with the Dragon Ball sees it. Panting, Goku and Jiren look up. Smoke clears with some of it coming off of Frieza's face. He's covered in burn marks and blood. As he twitches midair, he mutters a few words beneath his breath, as he then plummets into the water below. Jiren then rushes over and picks up Frieza. It seems they weren't enough to kill him, but they did knock him unconscious, and he's pretty badly injured. An exhausted Jiren silently celebrates. Smiling since he's finally completed his goal, he defeated Frieza, with the help of some friends. A dizzy Frieza slowly returns to consciousness, and looks up to see Jiren staring down at him once more, breathing heavily. He contemplates killing Frieza, getting that sweet revenge. Frieza can easily tell what Jiren's thinking, and he braces himself weakly. And obviously, Goku can tell as well. They both know what Jiren wants to do. As Jiren looks at Goku, the look Goku gives him tells him all, and Jiren silently nods. He decides against it. It wouldn't be the right thing to do. Plus, if anything, that's only a temporary relief. Capturing Frieza, having Frieza watch his empire crumble, and keeping him in prison for life would be a better revenge. Not to mention, they get a lot of info out of it. Using Galactic Patrol technology, the same kind of slime restraint used on Moro, Frieza is captured, unable to escape. His arms, legs, and tail are all bound together. Jiren then pulls out one of the Galactic Patrol's shrinking devices, shrinking Frieza into a tiny box. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Frieza's way smaller than he even was before. Jiren looks down at him, saying the two words he knows best. It's over. Backup is then called, as Frieza is transported to an ultra-maximum security prison. In solitary confinement, he weakly curses Jiren. One day, he'll be back. He'll pay Jiren back tenfold. No, more than that. As the ship flies off, Jiren watches feeling content. He's then joined by the rest of the group, and now can properly thank them. Nail also gives a huge thanks to Jiren too. Without the Galactic Patrol's warning or their help, the Namekians would surely be extinct by now. There's no way their warriors could have held off Frieza. Jiren tells him not to mention it. After all, it is his duty as a member of the Galactic Patrol. The two smile as he shakes Nail's hand. But it's probably too early to celebrate. Jiren remembers, his next target is still out there, and that person is King Cold. He tells the rest of the group, and this perks Vegeta up. Of course he knows who King Cold is too, and for a second, he doubts that Jiren could do that, but then remembers that Jiren just defeated Frieza. So maybe it is possible, and although Vegeta wasn't the one to get the revenge, he's content too. He would have preferred if Frieza died, but this is also good enough. As Jiren, Jaco, and the other agents are about to leave, Goku asks Jiren something. He wants to come along. Everyone's surprised to hear this, especially Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan, but Goku tells them it's okay. He won't be gone for too long. He just wants to train with Jiren and some of the other Galactic Patrol agents, cause that'll help him get a lot stronger. It is in Earth's best interest after all. Plus, Chi-Chi kinda did want him to get a job, and if he joins the Galactic Patrol, that probably would count as one. The three are still pretty stunned to hear this, as is Jiren. Goku was definitely a big help during this fight, and in terms of strength, the Saiyan does show a lot of promise. And unlike the stereotypical Saiyans, Goku seems good for some reason, especially when compared to one of the last surviving Saiyans like Vegeta. Well, Jiren, what do you think? Jiren hesitates for a moment, thinking it over. Everyone watches in anticipation, especially Goku. Jiren then sticks his hand out. As Goku shakes it, he tells Goku welcome to the Galactic Patrol, as the Earthlings watch stunned. Jiren feels a little odd accepting this, but it seems like it's okay. And he tells Goku about his family, he could always use the ship to visit them whenever he needs. Maybe he can even watch over Earth. Originally Jaco did that, but it makes more sense for Goku to do it. Oh, you know what? That's actually not so bad. Krillin, Bulma, and Gohan are fine with this, and Goku's pretty happy to hear it. Not only does he have a new job, and not only does he have a new training regimen, but he'll be able to visit Earth throughout all of it. He asks Bulma if she can fill Chi-Chi in on it, as he then boards the ship with Jiren and Jaco. He waves goodbye, telling them he'll see them as soon as he can. However, there is still one loose end that's kinda weird. Vegeta. Vegeta's essentially homeless right now, even planetless. Namek probably wouldn't accept him, and he wouldn't even want to live here regardless. Awkwardly, he asks the group, while swallowing all of his pride. He stammers and asks if he could return to Earth with them. Gohan and Krillin aren't really sure what to say, but Bulma accepts it. Vegeta could live at Capsule Corp. That should be pretty fun. As all the Namekians come out of their hiding, they thank everyone for their help, waving goodbye as the Earthlings fly off back to Earth. Thankfully, it seems that nightmare is over, and this is where we can end for now. So what do you guys think will happen next? What'll happen on Earth? How will Goku's experience with the Galactic Patrol go? And, most importantly, will Yamcha actually continue his training with King Kai? Leave all your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get a new part. If you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If or any other videos that I upload. As always, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.